Hi kids, welcome back to Dear World. I hope you all are doing good and your day was super duper great. So today in this video we are going to learn one more topic in grammar, that is voices. What are voices? Voices when you say, then what do you mean by it? If we say voices, then we can say that yeah, voices is something to talk. It's voices. I'm going to say that it this is the way to express your thought, right? This is the way to express the thought, right? So the way of expressing the thought is for voice. Now, voices is having two types. One is active and other is passive. And both are, you know what, when you say active voice, correct, but passive is not incorrect. When you're saying passive, then active is not incorrect. Both of them is correct way of expressing a sentence. But the passive one is the more explanatory and more, explanatory, and you can see your thoughts in passive voice even more than the active. So today we are going to learn both of them. Let's see what we are going to learn inside it. So, first of all, we're going to learn the difference between active and passive voice. I'll tell you the most important part that you should know that what is active and what is. So first, we are doing that. Wow, what is the difference? Why we are using them different? Next, we will be identifying some of the active and some of the passive sentences with the example. Then we have to apply our understanding and we have to form the given sentence into active voice, whether it is given in active, we have to convert it in passive, or whether it is given in passive, we have to convert it active. So these are three steps we are going to do today in active and passive. So let's learn first about active. Active and passive voice are two different ways. Means what are of constructing a sentence. You have two different, options. You can use either active or you can use either passive to construct the sentence. Both of them are the correct. Passive is not grammatically incorrect, but active voice makes your writing clearer and more efficient. Means passive is incorrect, not grammatically incorrect. But active voice, whenever we are using in the sentence, it makes the sentence easier to understand. Means it makes our sentence natural. It makes our sentence, less complex and clearer for the person who is reading it. Okay? So it's easy to understand. Now let's understand what is active exact. What is exactly an active voice? In active voice, the subject of the sentence performs the action described by the verb. So we all know that in any sentence, whenever we are saying, in any sentence, we have one subject plus we have a verb in between, and then we have an object. In every sentence, we have this, classic combination of subject, verb, and object. Subject, verb, object, right? We're gonna see John built with the example. So what it is saying, subject of the sentence. Here, we can say subject. Who is subject? The person who is doing the work, right? Doer. Subject is a doer who is doing the work. Its verb is the work which has been done. Object. What is an object? Object is the thing on which the work has been done. Right? The work has been done. Okay. Now we can see that in this sentence, whenever we are saying about talking about active voice, the subject of the sentence here, what the subject is, subject of the sentence perform the action. Whatever the action is performed by the sentence, it is described by the verb. Now, what does that mean? Let's understand through an example. Here we have an example. John built the house. Let's just do this example. John built the house. Here, what you can see that John is the subject, built is the word, and the house is the object of it, right? So the subject John is the one performing the action, right? In this sentence, John is a subject who is performing the action of building the, right? So all of the actions performed by the subject, right? All of the action is performed by the subject and not by any another part of the speech, right? So whenever we are taking one more, let's take one more example. Tina cooked the food. Yeah, Tina is the subject, cook is the verb, the food is the object, right? So here, Tina is doing the action, is performing the action of cooking. Yeah, food is not related to any act. Object is not related to any action. We're just talking about the subject over here. Okay. So whenever we are talking about active voice, the voices in active voices, the subject in the sentence from all the action, whatever which is described as the verb. Okay. Now let's see what is with passive voice. Our passive voice is this. Now in passive voice, the subject of the sentence is acted upon by the verb. Means here the in the active voice on the object the work has been done. Right? On the object the work has been done. But in this the doer, the subject of the house is receiving the action. We can say in this one, in this passive voice, whatever the object is, that is receiving the action, right? So let's see it by the example. The house was built by John. John built the house. That was active. Because the work was the action was all performed by the subject. So here we can say in this sentence, in this sentence, that is the house was built by John. House is subject now. House is the subject now. Was built is the verb of the sentence. So was the auxiliary verb and the build is a past participle of build, whatever we have learned. By John indicates the doer of the okay. So he is the doer. subject, the house is receiving the action of will. Now, in the active one, all the focus was on the subject, right? Here also, the all the action was done, subject, yeah, on the subject. But in this one, whatever was the object in the active one, it became subject. That's just the difference. We can say that in active, we have this one, subject plus verb plus object. We have this combination for the active. And for the passive, we have little different. Why? Because the object comes first. Now, the object work as a subject. Now, all the main focus is on object. The object has been, the work has been done on the object. In this one, the work has been done by the subject. Main focus is on main focus is on main focus is on subject over here, right? Main focus is subject in active. But in passive, the main focus got shifted to object. So it can be like object plus verb will be, at its place and then the subject. So the main focus in the passive will be object. That is it. In active, subject is first, verb in between, object is last. In passive, reverse of subject and object. Just do that. Object come first, verb on its same place, subject as well. That's the difference between active and passive. I told you grammatically also these are the rules told about by the grammar rules, and I told you the example, right? In active voice, the main focus is on the subject. For passive, the main focus of doing the action was shifted to the object. That's it. Now we have to eliminate the passive one. You can eliminate passive voice by making slight changes to your sentence. Now, the hurricane, if you look at the screen, color, the hurricane ravaged the town. This is the active, right? The town. Yeah, you can say the hurricane is the subject, ravaged is the verb, and town is the object. Yes, towns come first, so it became subject, for now, that it is the object. Ravaged at same place. Hurricane, the subject. Is right. The town was ravaged by the hurricane. Liam baked a delicious food. Now let's just do it without seeing the film, as the here Liam is the subject. Liam is the subject. Baked is the verb. Delicious cake is the object, right? Let's just shift it to like delicious cake. Now, cake is a single thing, so you can say a delicious cake. Bake means it was in the past form, was bake. Here we come with object. Here we come with the helping verb, and this is the main verb. So the in the past form. by Liam. So Liam is the subject. A delicious cake was baked by Liam. You can use any of the sentence. Let's just, convert one of them right now. This is the active one. Mom is cooking the food. Okay, now let's make it faster. The food, that is object. What? Helping verb. Cooking, cook. Past participle form of cooking. By mom. Subject. Subject, verb, object. Here this is subject, verb, object. Right? How you see that how we can do how we can change any sentence from active to passive. Now, passive or active, you have to determine if the sentence is either passive or the orbit to the moon was calculated by a female engineer. Now you can clearly see, first of all, the sentence has been elongated. It's not easy to say. It's not, very looking very natural. It's complex sentence. From that, we can say that is passive. That is a little logical. That is a little, you can say, hint. But what is the logical? You have to go with logic always. So the orbit, all the attention has been shifted on the orbit. Okay. Why? Because the orbit to the moon was calculated. Now, we are not giving focus to the female energy. We are giving the focus to the orbit to the moon was, right? So the orbit here is the object. The moon was calculated is the verb. Human energy is the subject. It goes with the river, right? So whenever we are talking about passive, object will be first, verb in middle, subject is. This will be the classic combination for the passive one. When we are creating one sentence, make sure that you're keeping this in mind. The sentence was written in passive voice. To fix it, we need to rearrange the sentence. A female engineer calculated the orbit to the moon. Now, the same sentence over here. This is subject, this is the verb, this is object. Simple, right? For the converting active to passive, we have to convert because we have to change the space of active, subject and object. Plus, we have to fix some verbs, some tenses. Okay. Determine if the sentence is active or passive. The research finding was carefully analyzed and interpreted. A team of experienced scientists from various fields. What can you say? The research findings were carefully and interpreted by a team of experienced scientists from various fields. From what we have 5 seconds. Tell me. Okay. So the sentence was written in the passive voice. You can see the object, analyzed, interpreted, experience, verb, scientist, subject are coming in the last, right? So a team of experienced scientists from various fields carefully analyzed and interpreted the research findings. So here you can say subject, analyze and interpreted are the word, right? Now you must know what is the combination. Now look at the example sentence. Below, so it's passive, write it into action. Student questions are always answered by the teacher. What is it? Passive or active? It is passive. How? Students' questions are always answered. We can say the whole, thing is shifted to student, not at the teacher. Okay? How we can fix it? The teacher always answers the student question. So this is the active form, right? This is the active. They are building a new bridge. This is active. That's correct. No need to, convert it into passive. The homework will be assigned by the teacher. Again, this passive is converted. The teacher will assign the homework tomorrow. So that is what we are saying that how to convert. Okay. Now that is it for today. We have learned about active and passive voice. What are they? Differentiate between them. What are the rules? How rules are based so that we can differentiate between them. How logically we can say how we can convert an active voice to a passive voice and a passive voice into one active. So I hope you all understood the concept. And also, if you have any doubt, make sure that you are asking me in the comment section. I will, love to answer your questions. Feel free to ask me. So, if you like the video, hit the bell icon and subscribe button. Also, subscribe the channel. Also, like the video. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you're not going to forget any updates and miss any updates from my video. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye bye.